Live from the Beamsville International Hotel and Ballroom, Bandland Records presents From the Lounge. And now your host, Frank. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for showing. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for digging the scene. Thanks for digging the scene. Who talks like that anymore? Well, besides me. Not too many people, I guess. But you know what? Who cares? Who cares? I can talk like that. I can talk like that. Anyway, my neighbor the mime. Today, you wouldn't believe this. I look out my window. He's trying to clean his eaves troughs today. You know, you go up there in the fall, you know, you clean out all the leaves and stuff that might block your downspouts and stuff. Those of you who aren't homeowners might not realize that this job actually takes place every fall, especially if you have lots of greenery on your property. So he's up there. Well, he's not up there. You know what the trouble? Here's the trouble. He's been climbing his invisible ladder for ages, and I'm afraid he's not getting any closer to the top. So when he reaches his roof, I don't know. So it was amusing to watch for a while, but I'll leave him to his work. Okay, you know what? I really need to get some work done around here. I'm falling so behind on things, recording, housework, paperwork. I don't know if I'm getting lazy or I'm just giving into distraction. You know what I'm talking about? You know, I like making funny Photoshop albums, you know, to amuse my friends, and I haven't done any of that in a while too. So I should do a couple of those. You know, that's always fun. You know, I like to make people laugh. You know, leave them smiling when you go. I think I've told you before. One of my favorite lines. One of my favorite lines. So I haven't been down to the music store lately either, which is okay, you know, because I don't really have any extra money to spend on anything. So, you know, if I go down there, I'm only eating my heart out, you know, doing the kid in the candy store thing, you know, and you see everything and you want it. You know, speaking of kids in candy stores, do you ever reminisce about stuff that you used to buy as a kid that you can't get anymore? Or maybe you can, maybe I just don't, maybe I shop in the wrong places, I don't know. You know, you might actually be able to get some of the stuff. You know, I can't say that I've spent an extensive amount of time looking or anything, but myself, you know, I remember like the penny candies, you know, stuff like Mojos and pixie sticks and bottle caps and wax lips and fingers, and get these frozen things called Lolas and wacky packs, which were stickers. Usually, like it was almost like Mad Magazine kind of stuff. They'd spoof like different products and stuff, kind of amusing in that. There was Gold Nuggets, chewing gum, Big League Chew, which was like shredded bubble gum. You get the candy cigarettes, you know, because like when I was small, you know, there wasn't such a smoking was actually encouraged when I was small, so, you know, and it wasn't all these rules like now. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in Canada, you have to be 18, 19 to buy cigarettes and stuff like that. When I was a kid, my dad would like give me money, and I'd be like 6, and I could go to the store and buy him like cigarettes, you know. And so, you know, it's a completely different world, you know. And what else? Jelly Tots. I used to buy Jelly Tots all the time. Cadbury Bar 6, which was kind of like a Kit Kat that went the opposite direction, you know. So like, you know, you get those wax witches that were filled with like really disgusting like flavored liquid, hot tamales, Good and Plenty, garbage tins. You can still get Pez just about everywhere. You know, hockey cards, 5 cents a pack, still had bubble gum in them. Still had bubblegum. Now, you know, trading cards, you know, it's a big market for trading cards and stuff, you know, collectors and stuff like that, and they don't put the gum in them anymore because, you know, they don't want to, like, wreck them. You know, it used to be great. You used to pick up the trading cards, you know, hockey cards, baseball cards, whatever, you know, and they smelled like gum. It was part of the experience. And now, you know, like I said, different world. Mad Magazine, 25 cents cheap. Remember that? Of course you don't. According to my demographics, none of my listening audience, what am I trying to say? According to the demographics of my listening audience, none of you guys are spending the whole segment going, what the hell is he talking about? Well, even if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you know what? Guess maybe I should just be moving along then. Okay, what else is new? Canada is making plans of phasing out the penny. I don't know if the rest of the world, you guys are doing this too. I just know I'm being screwed somehow, but we're phasing out the penny. You know, and we're the highest taxed country in the world, at least last time I looked at statistics. And you know, our politicians, they continue to cry poor. Every time there's an issue, you know, they're crying poor, and you know, I imagine their payroll and expenses, you know, don't reflect on this whole poor thing. But you know, like Mel Brooks once said, it's good to be the king. Okay, music. We should be talking music. What's new in the indie scene this week? We know what things I've been checking out in the indie scene. Couple of really great songwriters from the UK. Lee Doherty, Jackie Collette, Lauman. I've been checking out some of their posts over the last little while. Lee tends to write, just post up her lyrics most of the time and stuff to read. Jackie doesn't play guitar, so she sings a lot of her videos a cappella, and you can like check out some of her stuff on Bandland, amongst other sites. I was chatting a bit online with Nick and Sarah. They're a very talented act from Belgium. Really super nice people. Look them up and check out their videos and stuff. You can look under Nick Sarah or under Just Nick. Really nice people. Have all the time in the world for them. Danny Bazin has been posting up some Halloween-themed covers from the Nightmare Before Christmas that I've been enjoying. You know, take note too when you're. This came up this week, past week. Take note when you're accessing people's intellectual properties, and please respect their copyrights. They've put a lot of effort into their creations, be it music, art, writing, photography. This past week, I saw that one of the girls of Bandland Records, models from the Miss August, Ashley Cujo, had somebody had copied some of her photos from her portfolio on Facebook and had posted them on another site. That's a no-no. Those pictures belong to her. They belong to the photographer. You know, so she had to ask them to be taken down. You can share people's stuff because you know that's you know, especially on the Facebook sites, you can click the share button because you know then these people are getting full credit for their works and stuff like that, and you know that's very important and stuff like that. But anyway, what we should do now is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when I come back, we're going to hear a track from one of my guests here in the lounge this week, of which I have two. So we'll be having a good time here today. So we'll be right back. Now here's my special guest this week, performing Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues.
I hear the train coming, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and times he's dragging on. But that train keeps rolling down in San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, whatever way we got. But I shot a letter window just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Folks eating from a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. If that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Folsom Prison, that's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
Well, welcome back to the Lounge, everybody. That was, of course, Johnny Cash's Folsom City Prison Blues. Folsom City. Where do I know what I'm talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. Folsom Prison Blues. Johnny's rolling over somewhere, and that was covered by this week's guest, vocalist and producer, Mr. Robert Getz. How are you doing today, Bobby?
I'm doing fine, Frank. What's up?
Oh, not too much. How are things down in the Connecticut end of the woods?
Well, let me see. We just got over our rainstorm. It's on the mild side, about mid-60s, low 70s.
Beautiful. Sounds good. See, I confuse everybody. I use the centigrade when I'm talking and stuff, and everybody else in the world's going, what the hell is he talking about? Is it really that cold there?
No, not hard.
And that, well, actually, I lie most of the time anyway. I was telling people it was -3 in the middle of July, so, you know, it's... Gary Woods is concerned that I'm perpetuating all the Canadian stereotypes to everybody all around the world, but, you know, I don't really care, so... So, you're producing a show on Nutmeg Television for... amateur independent artists to show some of their wares. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I certainly can. The show basically was put together initially when we were first on a website called Limebooth, if you remember that.
Yes.
And there were so many decent artists on there that I really didn't want to lose touch with them. And knowing that I was working as a part-time cameraman for a local television studio, even though it's non-profit, I looked at the possibility of maybe producing a show. And probably one way of sidetracking ASCAP and BMI, since these individuals own their music outright and I don't have to worry about any corporate sponsors or whatever term you want to use as far as owning the music. And I figured this is a good way of letting individuals get their own stuff out above and beyond just the internet, whether it just be local within just the state alone. So I mean, I'm giving it a shot. I'm hoping it works and goes from there. So far, I've had a pretty good response. I'm up to about 18 different artists now, ranging from Sweden, as far east, as far as Sweden, and as far west as California and Alaska.
Yeah, it's a great mix of people. A lot of, and as you say, very talented people. A lot of the artists that who I heard for the first time as like yourself on Lime Booth, and was really blown away by some of the stuff people were putting out, like Sean Harvey and David Diem, and amongst others, so many to name. And that
it's a shame that you don't see them on the mainstream, but there's just so many people that are so talented, and I guess they only have just so much as far as percentage that they can get out there at one time.
Yeah. And it's incredible to me too. Like some of the real quality of not only the music that's being written, as we were saying, but also of the production for people that are doing it on their own. And of course that's what this show here is all about as well, and stuff, is giving them a chance to get themselves heard, because they are doing some fantastic work.
Well, that's what I'm hoping as far as that part's concerned. The only thing that could be on the negative side for something like this is certain individuals who may not understand what nonprofit actually means, maybe anticipating some sort of a royalty from the music that is being performed. And they're told up front, there is no royalties. Come on in, Ron. There is no royalties for each and every one of these songs being performed over the year.
Oh, we just had another guest arrive here at the lounge. I think it's Mr. Ron Gagnon, if I'm not mistaken. How you doing, Ron?
You're live on the air.
What's going on, Frank?
Not too much. Not too much. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Trying to stay alive, stay above grass.
Well, that's good. That's all we can ever do, eh? Yeah, we're just... you're here live in the lounge, and we've just been talking to Bobby a little bit about open mic night on Nutmeg Television. I understand you're going to be involved yourself.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You're going to be hosting the show, from what I understand?
Yeah, Bobby twisted my fingers.
Very good.
They all kind of messed up, No, when he talked to me about it, he asked me about it, it was like, yeah, it was a great idea, because we got the thing, and of course he's doing everything else, producing it and putting everything all together. So for him to be the host and the producer and this and that, yeah, it's really turning him gray,
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm having the same problem with my show. It's working its way, but so yeah, well, we're going to be the people listening to Lounge are going to be hearing a few of Bobby's covers today, and Bobby and I were talking before you arrived. We'd like to also play a couple of your songs for the people today. We were talking about tracks I Do and Mercy, Strength, and Honor, if that's all good with you.
Absolutely.
I'll be playing those for the folks today a little later in the show. But actually what we should do now is we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to play Bobby's cover of Summertime Blues, song originally performed by Blue Cheer, if I'm not mistaken.
No, actually, country western is Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson is the artist that he is covering. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back in the lounge.
This one's going to be a fast one.
So I'm gonna raise a hog. I'm working all summer just to try to herd a dog. Every time I call my booty, I'm trying to get a good. Boss says tonight, son, you gotta work late. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Well, guess you didn't work a lick. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, 'cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Summertime blues.
Okay, we're back in the lounge, and once again, that was Bobby G with his cover of Alan Jackson's version of Summertime Blues. You're here in the lounge with Robert Getz and Ron Gagnon. How you guys? What I understand now, Ron, you're a musician, songwriter yourself,
Yep.
And Bobby, you're a vocalist. You do basically you do all covers, or do you do any songwriting yourself at all?
I have no desire to do any songwriting. I just try to do the vocals, and I'm probably what you might say my own worst enemy.
How long have you been performing vocals? I know you like to hit the karaoke nights and stuff. Has singing been something that you've done most of your life?
I mean, if you were to ask my sixth grade teacher way back when, in the back of the room, they would always tell me to shut up. And it just continued from there into high school chorus, where I was bass baritone. College, we got to do duet kind of a thing where we'd be mixing Christmas songs. You know, take two songs put together because they start with C, end with C, and just flip flop. Then I got married. Didn't really get into much of anything else other than work. Retired back in 2003. Went to this local tavern restaurant to meet a brother of mine. Ended up getting dared to get up on stage to sing, and if you know what a microphone looks like when it's rattling in your hands and your knees buckling and palms are sweating, and first two lines you're like an octave or two octaves too high, and you turn around and you tell the KJer, I'm already standing up here looking like an AH, and can we do this over again? You know, did it with no problem, and been doing it ever since.
I've only done karaoke a couple of times, and I still remember the first time vividly, and I'm surprised I do, because we were at a bar and they were doing the karaoke night. I was there with a couple of friends, and And they were my friends were shooting pool, and I was watching the people do the karaoke, and I go, geez, I bet I could do that. But, of course, I didn't have the nerve until I had about several beers in me, and then I probably shouldn't have been up there singing in the first place at that point. But, you know what? You got to get your feet wet somehow.
Oh, we did.
That's it.
It was a night to remember.
Right on. And so, Ron, how long have you been playing?
I've got my first guitar when I was 10 years old, and I taught myself how to play back then. My mother and my stepfather bought me a Stella guitar for Christmas, and I went down for 25 cents and got to learn how to play guitar book, and I started making chords and playing and everything. My brother and I used to sing together when we were younger. 5, 6, 6, 7. I'm the oldest in the family, so we would get together and we would do harmonies and stuff like that. But we kind of took up after our dad because he was a musician himself, and he played in a big country band on stage a lot, and across the countries and stuff like that. But that was back in the day when the bass player played the bass fiddle.
Yeah.
Versus one that we play today. But a lot of that came from him. And then I started writing. I probably wrote my first song when I was maybe 13, 14 years old. And I put that down. I couldn't even tell you what it is now because I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah.
Other songs that I've kind of written around my wife now. Around Claire, like I Do, for example. That was about when we got married, and, the ups and downs and a little bit. You'll hear it later when you put it on the show. And but it's just something that I enjoy doing. If I get a notion, and like I Do, for example, she was out shopping, I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and I start looking out the window, and I can visualize it raining. And I can see in the darkness a vision in the window standing behind me. And that vision was her, putting her hands on my shoulder. Okay? And then reminiscing back to the day we got married, and now we're before God and family when we both say, I do. Okay, so that kind of gives you a little story. I had to go get my guitar. In 30 minutes, I had the song done. And then I presented it to my buddies in the band.
Yeah.
We put in the bass and the lead and the drums and all that stuff, and came up with a true song on it. And then Bobby put a video to it, which was awesome.
Well, what we did was I just added a certain something extra to it because we had talked about the rainstorm and all that stuff. I was able to splice in a thunderstorm. To certain areas to where you can actually hear the crackle, but it wouldn't take away from the song itself. And you can hear the rain, but not strong, just enough to know it's there.
Yeah.
And adapted that to the song as well. So the original song that he had none of that in there. And the way he had it was great by itself. I just added it in there just to see what the effect would be, and we kind of liked it.
Yeah, it came out really good.
Well, that's been an excellent segue, so why don't we take the time right now? And this is Ron Gagnon, and the song's called I Do.
Reminiscing
by the hand, dance to the rhythm of the rain. We kissed, then you smiled at me. Remembering when you stood behind me and touched my shoulder, I stopped and turned around, and the music stood before me, lifted my spirits off the ground. That's when I said I love you, and now wait with you. Look into your eyes, I see the deep sea. Before dawn and breaking will always be true. We said together these words I do. I do.
Okay, welcome back to the lounge, people. That was once again that was Ron Gagnon with his song "I Do." Now, Ron, do you go into studio to produce most of your music then, or do you guys do it from one of the band members' homes, or a lot in your own home, or?
Well, actually, my cousin Cal has, we had a studio in his home. And he's got it all set up downstairs with all the recording stuff and everything. So whenever we get together to put together a song, we end up doing it at his house down in his studio. We have been picking up another friend of mine, Jim O'Hare. We also co-write with one another, and we're starting to pick up on doing some jingles for businesses and stuff like that. So, but the basic recording area is down, pretty much down in Cal's area down in the basement down there where we put it all together.
If there's listeners that want to check out some of your band's music, is there a couple of websites that are the best place to go and look to hear your music?
Well, you can go out to YouTube. It's youtube.com/Ron G5351. That's one. And then we still have, I think it's Just Cuz. It's JUSTCUZ.com. And for the life of me, I can't remember the group of people that we had opened that up on. But we've got our complete album of original tunes that I wrote, Cal wrote, Jim had co-written with us. We've got a complete album out there on the Just Cuz website.
Excellent.
And that we just went out. I just went out there a couple of weeks back, and it's still there, so they can go out and check it out. Just justcuz.com should take you right there.
Okay, I'm going to make sure that I have that written down too, because I'm going to, when we're wind up here, I'm going to go check it out myself. And that now, Bobby, yourself, same question. I said, if the listeners are interested in hearing some of your cover music, what are some of the best places for them to check out on the web?
Well, you can go to YouTube, check out Bobby G 0000. If you have a YouTube account, you should be able to find me there with any material that I have on it. I'm also part of Bandland Records. Also, I believe Bobby G with the 4 zeros. If you're part of Vandalism, catch me there at Robert Getz. So,
excellent.
Facebook, I might have one or two as well. So,
right on. Okay. Well, you know what we should do is we should take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back in the lounge. Okay, you're back in the lounge. Mom, I'm recording. I hate that.
Frank, before we really get going, you can probably catch, if they have any questions that they want to ask me, you can go to Bobby G and Friends production at gmail.com. That'll be the best place to ask me.
Okay, so if go to there if you have any questions about open mic or how you can be involved or when you can listen in. When's the best time to tune in for new programs on Nutmeg Television?
He had to catch up on the phone. Right.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I tell you what, why don't we take a listen to another cover by Bobby G. This is Conway Twitty's song, Only Make Believe.
He does an awesome.
People see us everywhere. They think you really care. But myself, I can't deceive. I know it's only make-believe. My one and only prayer is that someday you'll care. My hopes, my dreams come true. My one and only you. No one will ever know how much I love you so. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me, but it's only make believe. My hopes, my dreams come true. My life I'd give for you, my heart a wedding ring, my all, my everything, my heart I can't control, you rule my very soul, my only prayer will be, someday you'll care for me, but it's only make one and only prayer is that someday you'll care. My hopes, my dreams come true. My one and only you. No one will ever know how much I love you so. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me, but it's only me.
Okay, once again, that was Bobby G, his cover of Conway Twitty's song, Only Make Believe. Now, Bobby, do you remember what the first LP you ever bought was?
Lordy, it's probably a Beach Boy. Way back when, probably Beach Boys.
Beach Boys, right on. Love the Beach Boys. And still recording, those guys.
Yes, they are. Not all of them, but
yeah, not all of them. Unfortunately, yeah, we've lost a couple over the years, and that's what happens, I guess, in life. But yeah, the remaining fellas, their latest track from their new recording, That's Why God Made the Radio. I thought they did an excellent job on it, still capturing that classic sound. How about you, Ron? Do you remember what the first LP you bought was?
Let's see, the first LP, and I still got it, was, actually there was two of them. There was Patsy Cline and Oh,
Don't burn your brain cells. Come on.
already fried. You see the smoke coming out of my ears. What was this? Dolly Parton's sidekick, the one that got
Porter Wagoner.
Porter Wagoner.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. So it was somebody older country coming into it. Some probably picked it up from the late 50s, early 60s, 59, 60, somewhere in there.
Right on.
And I still actually have a couple of 78s too.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't think we have any of those kicking around anymore. I know when my grandparents passed, there were some up for grabs, but I think my mom and my aunt garage saled them. I wasn't quite quick enough on getting the collector's items there, but live and learn.
Yeah.
But anyway, as a musician, Ron, is any equipment that you really stand by, whether it's guitars, amplifiers, or anything that you might want to pass along to other younger aspiring musicians?
Well, starting off in the day when I was playing, it was every instrument I got my hands on was something that I loved. Okay. As the years went by, when I was in the Army and I was in Germany, I had picked one up over there, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but that's when a mark was worth a quarter, and I picked it up for like 40 marks, so I got the guitar for $10.
Oh, right on.
It sounded awesome. It was a hollow body guitar.
Yeah.
And it wasn't electric. It was one that you had to actually put the pickup inside the hole.
Yeah.
Okay, and then plug into it that way. And then when the group and I were going on the road, we did a fair. We were the headlining act at a fair upstate New York. And we were staying at the hotel. We did a live radio show. And this was when we were called Midnight Rose. We were old number 7. But we had to change the name to Midnight Rose because Jack Daniels had the thing for old number 7. Even though we were using the train, he was using a liquor bottle.
Yeah.
So then I went down to, there was a music store right down in the plaza from where we were staying at the hotel there. And I saw this Alvarez Yardage, which is probably about that thick versus one I had like this, okay? And it came with all the electronics and everything with it. I think back in that day, 18, 19 years ago, it was going for like $1,700 or something like that. And I got a real good deal on it because I traded I had a K at the time, and I traded that in with my hard shell case, picked that up, got it for like $249. And I was like, that's my guitar right there. And this thing has sound like you wouldn't believe. For a thin hollow body, it's got the sound of a full hollow body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got that good, rich tone to it. It just sounds great. I haven't changed the string in 14 years. Still stays in tune.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, you know what? I've got another track that we've brought here today from you, Ron. It's called Mercy, Strength, and Honor. I understand you had a writing partner with this song. If you'd like to tell us a little bit about it before we listen to it.
Sure. His name's David Martnow. He's the director for Mercy Housing and Shelter in Hartford, Connecticut, where I worked with him for almost 3 years. And he knew I was an entertainer and a musician, and he came to me with a poem about the homeless people and how they've lost their dignity and their honor and everything else. And he asked me if I would work on it and see what I could come up with. And this was the song that I ended up ultimately coming up with. And I brought my guitar into the office one day, and he says, meet me up in my office. So by the time I got up there, he had 2 or 3 other people up there because he wanted everybody to hear it. Everybody loved it. I talked to the president of Mercy Housing Shelter, and she gave me permission to talk with Colleen about having them use this song, because what it is about, it's about the homeless people, it's about their needs, and what we can do as people to try and help them to get back on their feet, regain their dignity and their honor, and that's what this song is about.
Excellent, excellent. Well, without further ado, this is Mercy, Strength, and Honor.
Let's have mercy on their souls. Don't leave them out in the cold. Have we forgotten about their pain? No shelter but snow, heat, or rain. And let's stand up, it's time they were told. There are issues wrong and way too old. Return to them what they lack. Give them strength in their future back. Oh, mercy, strength, and honor. We all need to lend a helping hand. Mercy, strength, and honor, stretching all across this land. Now do you turn away when they walk up to you? Give a deaf ear when they speak to you. No place to call their own, not four walls to call their home. Let's stand up, it's time they were told. There are issues wrong and way too old. Return to them what they lack. Give them strength in their future back. Oh, mercy, strength, and honor. We all need to lend a helping hand. Mercy, strength, and honor all across the land. Now we can surely change what they see. We gotta all make a difference to set them free. Reaching out so they can hear. We are all fighting to stop the cheers. Spreading the word will help them grow. Let injustice take the final blow. Their lives can start to mend, and homelessness will finally end. So let's stand up, it's time they were told. There are issues wrong and way too old. Return to them what they lack. Give them strength in their future path. Oh, mercy, strength, and honor. We all need to lend a helping hand. Mercy, strength, and honor, stretching all across the land. Now do you turn away when they walk up to you? Give a deaf ear when they speak to you. Remember, no place to call their own, not even four walls to call their home. So let's get up out of your easy chair. Show them how much we really care. Let them hear what we have to say. Tell them it starts a brand new day. And let's stand up, it's time they were told. There are issues wrong and way too old. Return to them what they helping hand. And mercy, strength, and honor stretching all across the land. Oh, mercy, strength, and honor, we all need to lend a helping hand. Oh, mercy, strength, and honor stretching all across the land. Mercy, strength, and honor. Stretching all across this land.
That was great, Ron. I really do appreciate you bringing that track out with you today and stuff like that. I'm sure the listeners really enjoyed that. And great story behind it as well. Over the years, question, I'm going to throw this up to either one of you. Is there any favorite concert that you've attended over the years, or perhaps some event in music history that really left a strong impression on you and influenced you or touched you in a certain way?
I have two. I've got two. One of the best concerts I ever went to was Conway Twitty before he passed away, just before he passed away, and Donnie West. They performed together. And this was in Michigan. We were living out in Muskegon at that time. The second thing is, and Ron will probably attest to this as well, because it hit both of us. It hit you as well. It's 9/11. I was working that day, came in into the office, and the lieutenant had stopped us all to watch what was on TV, what was happening on TV. And we had just got there just after the first plane hit the towers, and saw the second plane hit the towers. And from that point on, everything changed.
Yeah. It really raises the level of vulnerability in your life when you witness something like that. And well, let's check the time. Well, we got a little bit more time here. How about musical influences? I haven't spoke to you guys about musical influences. Ron, what would you say were the most influential artists on yourself as a musician?
I'd say there's a whole list of them. I mean, it goes back to Kitty Wells and Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner, Johnny Cash, and then as the years progressed and I got older and I got into bands, the last band that we had together, we opened up for numerous amounts of entertainers and bands that have been out there and they've made their mark on society, so to speak. For example, we opened up for the Judds. We opened up for Kentucky Headhunters. We opened up for Diamond Rio. We got to actually sit down and talk with Diamond Rio when we were trying to get on the road ourselves. Okay? They put on an excellent show. We tried to follow suit because and this was at Indian Ranch up in Massachusetts. And the following week, after we had met the guys and talked to them, we were the headlining act up there. We had a band open up for us. So that kind of influences us as a band to be able to do things and set up a performance and stuff like that. But there's so many bands that we opened up for over the years that it was just phenomenal to meet everybody.
Yeah, I guess so. How about yourself, Robert? What would you consider your greatest musical influences over the years?
I have to agree with what Ron says. There's so many out there, but with a voice like mine, you have bass and baritone. There's really not a lot of vocals you can follow other than the recent ones, such as Trace Atkins and Johnny Cash and Josh Turner, some Alan Jackson. Even though Alan doesn't really have a low voice, he's sort of got low tenor.
Yeah.
You can do Willie and Waylon, that sort of thing.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're just about out of time here. So I want to thank Bobby and Ron for joining me today in the lounge. Really appreciate it, and I hope you guys pop back through sometime again in the near future.
Thank you for having us on board.
We'd love to come back for our Christmas show.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, we'll get on and we'll make sure everybody knows what's going on and stuff, so everyone has a chance to tune in and check it out. That would be excellent. I'll
even try and write a Christmas song. So. I'll have an original Christmas song.
Excellent, excellent. Actually, yeah, I was thinking about that. I got to put a show out on 2 days before Halloween, so I'm trying to come up with a good Halloween theme. For right now, I don't think I'll do anything original, just because of time constraints slowly slipping away on me here. But I'm probably going to try to cover something, maybe do like Monster Mash or Werewolves in London or something. You know, I'll think of something.
Or just pick up your guitar, hit the G chord, and go, "Ghouls and goblins coming by my house, taking all my candy away."
What was that? The old song. I'm trying to think of when it would have been. Probably from the mid-'60s, if I'm not mistaken. So another artist by the name of Gene Simmons. He did, what's that, Haunted House or something like that? I don't know if you remember that one or not. You moved in a haunted house. Still made up my mind to stay. But if I do a recording of that, all the kids are going to be going, what the heck is he playing? But, that's okay. I had it on a K-Tel album when I was a kid, so, I got a big kick out of it.
Oh,
but
K-Tel.
There's another blast from the past here. We're dating all ourselves here now. But anyway, I should wind up. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I'll be back with some closing thoughts, and then we're going to hear one more track by Bobby G, and stay tuned. You'll be right back in the lounge. Well, we've reached the end of another show here in the lounge, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself thoroughly. I'd just like to leave you this week with a few thoughts about political correctness. Now, we've come to a time here in the age of man where we become overly concerned with hurting other people's feelings. You shouldn't purposely do anything to hurt anybody's feelings, but you know what? We're really getting carried away. We're creating a whole generations of people who can't take any criticism whatsoever, or they can't take anything, or they're so easily shocked. You know what? Sticks and stones will break our bones. It's only bad if you let it hurt you. I sometimes think we get carried away. We take a good idea and we just drop the ball on it. Well, before we start running into overtime here and I have to answer questions to management, I will bid you adieu for the week, and we're going to listen in closing to Bobby G's cover of Steve Earle's Copperhead Road. And you guys have a good week, and you guys be nice to each other out there, eh? Peace.
There's a little southern rock for all your Bobby G fans. John Lee Petticoat, same as my daddy and his daddy looked old. Hardly ever saw granddaddy down here. about twice a year. You buy 100 pounds of yeast and some copper line. Everybody knew that he made moonshine. Another living room man wanted granddaddy bed, headed up to holler with everything he had. Oh, my time, but I've been told he never come back from Copperhead Road. Now Daddy ran the whiskey in a big block dot. Bought her down an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff paid on the side. Just shot a quarter primer, then looked inside. Well, him and I on the quarter engine now. Still remember that rolling sound. And then the sheriff came around in the middle of the night. Heard Mama crying and something wasn't right. Headed down to Knoxville with a weekly load. You could smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. The white trash first round here anyway. I done 2 years of duty in Vietnam. I came home with a brand new plan. I took the ski from Colombia and Mexico. I just planned up a holler down in Copperhead Road. Got a chopper in the air. I wake up screaming like I'm back over there.